linked to the element of fire, linked to the moon, the deities Bast, Freya, Sekhmet, Diana, Isis, Hecate. Linked to the Sabbath Samhain, magical associations, good luck, psychic abilities, secrets, divination, the moon, the afterlife, royalty, beauty, fertility, attraction, protection. Across the course of time, cats and witches always seem to go together like two peas in a pod. Due to its independent nature and inability to be tamed, the cat was linked to heresy, wildness, and anti-Christian beliefs. Ancient civilizations revered the cat, most notably the Egyptians, who believed they represented good luck. They deemed their souls to encounter the same afterlife as humans, and connected the cats with their female goddesses Bast and Sekhmet. Bast was often depicted as a cat or a woman with the head of a cat. She was considered a goddess of cats who presided over the home, protection and fertility. To kill a cat, even accidentally, could see you receiving a death sentence. To harm a cat was a crime against the goddess Bast herself. Cats were considered divine beings, an incarnation of the goddess herself, so would be treated like royalty. They were known to be worshipped, and priests of Bast's temples would have cats living alongside them. Many Egyptian tomb paintings depict cats with their human families within the home, either seen as a comforting companion or outdoors as hunting companions. The Egyptians saw little distinction between wild and domestic cats. The Greeks associated the cat with Diana, goddess of the hunt, moon, shape-shifting and witchcraft. The daughters of Diana, her priestesses, were said to wear cloaks that were partly made of cat fur due to her association with the animal. One of Diana's stories in mythology sees her shapeshift into Lucifer's adored pet cat in order to gain entrance to his chambers and seduce him. Cats are also at times linked to the Greek goddess Hecate. Norse mythology connects the cat to Freya, goddess of war, domesticity, female sexuality, fertility, sorcery, magic, and death. Freya would ride a chariot led by two male cats named Beigel and Tregel, described as being grey or blue, as she led the Valkyries into battle to gather the fallen warriors. Both cats were gifted to Freya by Thor as kittens. In Spain, Jews were said to believe the goddess Lilith, first wife of Adam, banned from the Garden of Eden for refusing to be subservient to him, would shapeshift into a vampire cat going by the name La Bruja, who would haunt the night in revenge for what happened to her at Eden. She was said to prey on newborn babies by sucking their blood. It was customary for new mothers never to leave their babies alone for the first 9 days for fear of La Bruja paying a visit. The Jewish book of law, the Talmud, records the cat having magical abilities to see demons. That one could be granted the same powers for obtaining the placenta of a firstborn black female cat, roasting it in the fire and proceeding to grind it into a powder. A small amount of the powder would be placed in the eye, resulting in the ability to see demons. Medieval Muslims revered the cats. The Prophet Muhammad was said to treat cats extremely well. Across time, the cat has many associations with the devil and demons. In Europe, the advent of the 16th century saw the cat fall out of favour. Cats were originally valued for their rat-catching skills, culminating in adult cats fetching the same price as full-grown sheep, goats, or untrained dogs. Cats were relied on to protect grain stores through hunting rodents. Cats could be found in monasteries, hunting mice, and acting as companions to monks, often depicted in religious manuscripts, chasing or eating mice. The cat began to be considered a symbol of paganism, connected to sorcery, magic, and witches, an indication that evil was close by, or the cat was actually the devil or a witch in disguise. Some even believed witches had a third nipple as a means for their witch familiar to suckle. Cats' nocturnal nature didn't help their cause. They were active under the cloak of darkness, leading to beliefs they were carrying out their witch owner's bidding. People began to believe witches shapeshifted into cats to sneak into homes to cause harm. Some accused of witchcraft would confess to doing this, realistically in response to the awful torture that they endured. The cat underwent horrific torture due to their association with the devil and witches. On 13th of June 1233, Pope Gregory IX of the Catholic Church released an official document, Vox in Rama, claiming the cat to be a vessel of the devil and associated with witchcraft. This was in response to a rumoured satanic cult rife in Germany. This is from William of Paris's 12th century work, De Legibus. Satan is believed to appear in the form of a black cat and to demand kisses from his adherents, one abominable kiss under the cat's tail. The initiation of novices to this supposed coven involved paying homage to a black cat by kissing the cat's behind. The devil was said to then appear in a black cat-like form. What started out as an attack on pagans additionally turned into an attack on cats. Witchcraft offered a means to settle grudges between people. One could insist someone was a witch through owning a cat, and that this was their connection to the devil himself. Throughout Europe, cats were violently killed as a means to purge evil due to their supposed embodiment of the devil. In Denmark at Lent, cats would be beaten to death. In other parts of Europe, cats would be burnt alive. In Belgium, cats were hurled from the belfry of various churches and then set on fire during a festival called Kattenstoot, or Festival of Cats. This festival still exists to this day, stuffed cats being held instead. Throughout the 15th to 18th century, to own a cat could lead to accusations of being a witch and that you were inclined to shapeshift into the cat's form, to enter homes and kill children and babies. Alternatively, the accused were believed to take off on the back of their cat to Sabbath gatherings. Throughout history, the cat has long been considered lucky to seafaring folk. Wives of fishermen would often keep a cat as it was said to prevent tragedy. This made them very valuable and they would often be stolen as a result. A cat on board a ship would bring good luck to the vessel and all who sailed on it. Should a cat run ahead of a sailor to the pier, it would bring good luck. If the cat should cross the sailor's path on the pier, this symbolised bad luck. Should the cats aboard a ship approach the sailor, this meant good luck, and for the cat to approach the sailor halfway and to retreat signified bad luck. Should a cat be thrown overboard, disasters and storms would be ahead. Back on land, it was believed a cat buried in a field would ensure bountiful crops. If a witch wanted to destroy crops, it is said that she could take the skin of a cat, fill it with vegetables, dry the body out, and grind it all up to dust. The dust would be scattered across the land as a sacrifice to the devil, who would destroy the crops in return. Cats were often used in healing witchcraft. Through ritual, illness would be transferred to the cat from a human before driving the cat out of the house, subsequently taking the illness with them. During the 17th century, an oil made using a boiled cat was said to be an excellent dressing for wounds. Elizabeth Frances, her sister Agnes Waterhouse, and her daughter Joan appear in one of the first widely documented witchcraft trials in Essex. Elizabeth had been given a white spotted cat by her grandmother that was named Sathan, strangely close to the name Satan. Elizabeth was said to feed Sathan bread, milk, and her own blood while she performed the black arts. Elizabeth was accused of using Sathan to kill Andrew Biles as a means of punishment for him refusing to marry her after her getting pregnant. Elizabeth was also accused of sending the cat to neighbours she disliked, resulting in them falling ill or dying. Sathan was supposedly given to Agnes, her sister, 15 years later, and continued his evil bidding that resulted in the deaths of many geese and cows in the area. Elizabeth and her family went on to be at the centre of many witchcraft trials. Sathan always the scapegoat for various misdeeds and deaths within the town. It reached a point where Elizabeth's wild, detailed accounts and personal confessions ended up saving her own self from being hung. Elizabeth went on to be seen as an expert in the field of witchcraft, becoming a recognised witch hunter, whilst her sister Agnes went on to be executed in July 1566. Agnes's daughter Joan was acquitted. The Celts believed cats were humans that had been forced to return to this world after committing bad deeds. This could be the root origin of the belief witches could shapeshift into feline form. In Celtic legend, the Cotchie was said to be either a shapeshifting witch or form of fae. As a witch, they had the power to shapeshift into a cat 8 times, yet on the 9th time they would be trapped forever as a cat. This is likely where the myth of cats having 9 lives stems from. In their fae form, the Cotchie is a large black cat around the size of a dog with a white patch on their chest. They were said to glow in the dark, adding to their otherworldly appearance. Some recounted the Cotchie standing on its hind legs with the ability to speak to humans. Once the Cotchie saw humans, it was said to revert back to walking on all fours. Cotchie translates to the fairy cat. She loosely translates to hill or mound, where the fairies dwell. The Cotchie had a dog counterpart called the Coochie. The Cotchie had a penchant for soul stealing and cursing. They would stalk around the Scottish Highlands where burials would take place. The Cotchie's story was often told around the hearth to impart moral lessons, cultural value, but also for entertainment. This is more common to Scottish folklore, yet a few accounts appear in Irish folklore too. The Cotchie could originate from the Kellis cats that had similar markings, a large interspecific hybrid of a domestic cat and a Scottish wildcat. They could grow up to 2 or 3 feet long, and the species were named after the local Kellis village. In the early 1980s, a number of Kellis cats were caught by gamekeepers. None are reported in captivity today, but mounted specimens can be found at museums in Aberdeen and Elgin, Scotland. Kellis cats have only been found in Scotland. Scottish folk believed the Cotshe could steal someone's soul shortly after their death before the gods could claim it. The Cotshe was said to jump over a corpse before it was buried. This resulted in the Theil Fadalach, or late wake, being created, where different methods would be used in the home where a corpse lay prior to burial. Fires would be lit in all the house's rooms, except the one where the body lay, as the Cotshe would want the comfort of the fire. Other methods to distract the Cotshe would be leaping, wrestling, playing music and games, asking each other riddles, and leaving catnip in any room the body wasn't in. At Samhain, the thinning veil was said to allow the Cotshe to cross over the threshold onto the earth. Farmers would be sure to leave out a saucer of milk for the Cotshe as a means to garner their favour. To not leave this offering could result in a curse being placed on their cows with their milk running dry. An ancient form of divination known as tagarum, sometimes interpreted as spiritual echo or calling up the dead, involved a ritual burning cats alive across several days to raise spirits or demons. One after another for 4 days and 4 nights, cats would be burnt and the spirits of demons said to appear in animal form to answer questions about the future. One version of the tagarum involved those participating in the ritual to not taste any food whilst continuously burning cats for several days back to back. Apparently, a legion of devils would be summoned, screeching around their master, who goes by the name of Big Ears. Big Ears was said to enjoy the sight of fellow cats being burned alive, and in return would answer any question posed and fulfill any wish the summoner might have. Throughout English lore, cats have always been seen as forever watching the shadows and the comings and goings within one's home, able to sense spirits and elementals. Can one ever truly claim to own a cat? They can often seem a little detached, sleek and cunning, with one foot in this realm, another in the other world, possessing the ability to see beyond the veil. Much like witches, who they are so closely associated with, both are renowned for being impossible to control and knowing what they want. Cats have since ancient times been associated with magic and the feminine archetype. Cats carry much healing energy. Their purr has a calming effect on the body that can be healing. Some witches include their cat in healing spells simply by having them close whilst casting. Cats are said to be the only entity able to walk in and out of a cast circle without breaking the energetic field. Some witches will incorporate naturally shed whiskers into their magic, as it provides a huge boost of power to any spell. Whiskers can be a great addition to spells for good luck, working through obstacles, difficult situations, and for protection. Whiskers are a protection function for the cat, as they let them know if their body will be able to fit into certain spaces. Hold a whisker in your hand during astral travel for protection on your journey. Burn a whisker alongside mugwort and jasmine to aid in prophetic dreams. Add a whisker to any protection spell as a boost. Carry a whisker in a charm bag or bottle to increase your luck. Naturally shed cat claws can be used in spells for protection, defense, curses, offence, defending one's home or self, or getting out of a situation. Claws, after all, are used to help cats climb into and out of situations. This is a quote that I found from an unknown author. Cats do not sleep in the way we think they do. The truth is, cats are interdimensional beings and regularly visit places we cannot. Their eyes are also capable of detecting wavelengths of light we cannot pick up, enabling them to see more energies, spirits, elementals, and more. The same way dogs are our guardians in the physical world, cats are our protectors in the energy world. So let's have a look at black cat oil, considered one of the luckiest oils to work with in spell work. Its magical properties are good luck, protection, attraction, money, reversing a string of bad luck, and hex or curse breaking. Used for protection during magical rites. After smoke cleansing, sprinkle at entrances, doorways, and windows to your home to prevent negative entities being able to enter. For luck in gambling, add a drop or two to each shoe, or even a couple of drops to your hands. Ideally, prepare under the dark moon. Extra powerful when used on a waxing moon for money spells. Anoint green candles with black cat oil for money, protection, or good luck spells. Anoint black candles with it for reversing or breaking a hex. Add to sweet almond oil, dried sage or sage leaves, crushed bay leaves, myrrh resin, a small amount of steel wool, and a small amount of iron filings. Naturally shed hair from a black cat or a naturally shed whisker. Stir the ingredients together in a clockwise direction. Do not shake. Store in a cool, dry place. That is all I have for you today, witches. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to hear other podcast episodes. You can also find me on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Sending you lots and lots of witchy love.